Yep.
Let's get it.
Welcome back to Kingdom Kast. This your host, Good Luck Chuck. We back at it with another episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share all your social media platforms. And we're going to introduce somebody that's back on our panel here. Welcome back, Kylie. She is the wifey now.
That's right. That's right. Officially off the market.
No longer a free agent.
Yeah. Yeah. And back from vacation, I'm feeling refreshed. So let's do this.
Yeah, she got a multi-year deal with incentives. So.
A lot of guaranteed money, stability.
Right. Right.
It was worth signing, let's just say.
Oh, I bet.
No, he's great. We had a great time. We had a lovely wedding. It was wonderful. It's been a really great couple weeks. But now it's time for football. I'm going to get the wedding behind us, moving on. Football, things are heating up.
Yeah, for sure. And before we get to that, Bud, how you doing this evening, man?
I'm doing good, man. You know, Raider pack getting broke down now. Shit, I'm good, man. Crazy game at Arrowhead. I'm good, man. Let's talk about these Raiders.
Yeah, wait, can I ask? Because you were there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you go last night? So what was the mood throughout the first half? A little.
You mean like down. With me or just the stadium period?
The crowd in general, because at home, you could definitely feel it shift after the Chris Jones
That's whole thing. What I was about to say. My cousin hit me up and he's like, "Man, y'all is loud as hell on the TV." And it was really, like they said, it was pretty cool. I mean, it wasn't out of the ordinary for an Arrowhead game. But once that Chris Jones shit happened, it was like people was on this shit for the next 2-3 plays. It didn't matter what happened. They was booing the refs, talking shit about the refs. Yeah, it was like that straight. I'm talking about every play. I want to say the Chiefs we was about to either kick a field goal or something, and they was still booing from that shit. They was the worst call I've ever seen, probably in my 32 years. That's got to be up there.
Oh yeah, definitely. And sure, there's a lot more horrible calls that relate to that, but we'll get to that later on the show. Country, he's not here, unfortunately. He's under the weather right now. You know, get well soon, my dog. Should be ready for the next episode, hopefully. So
he's literally day to day, man.
Yep. I hope you don't have what Frank Clark got, but
man, we're gonna talk about that too, cause man, the shark, man, yeah. Forward progress was bad, but this shit, man. RJ, I gotta go with this. Being the worst one. Chris Jones, he had the ball before he went down.
Right.
Oh yeah, but before we get into that, man, let's talk about the very beginning of this game. This I didn't understand what Spags was doing on the defensive side of the ball. I know Davante is 1 of 1. He's one of the best receivers in the league still, but when you let Davante get inside leverage, that's when he's most dangerous. And it's been like that when he put on a Green Bay uniform too. He does most of his damage if you let him get inside. That's when he runs his routes the crispiest. I know it's a tough task to slow him down, but if you give yourself a better chance with proper technique, and if you line up on the inside of him, you give Derek Carr a tougher lane to throw the ball in. So it was just confusing, man. Especially on 4th and 1. They ran a cover 0. You know, I know they was kind of expecting a run, but still, you just don't leave that guy on the island like that. So that kind of frustrated me early on. But also, on the offensive side of the ball, when we had the ball, them tackles were getting whooped, man. Chandler Jones and Max Crosby had themselves a first half, but luckily it wasn't for the entire game. So I mean, what was your guys' thoughts going through your mind during that first half when we got to that rush start?
Kyle.
So defense, I'll start there. Completely agree. Adam should have never been left one-on-one. And if you are going to put him one-on-one, do not put Fenton on him. I can't.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to get in trouble. I feel like I couldn't get right to it. Fitton frustrates me for a lot of reasons. I don't want to bash on him, but he was definitely the wrong person. If you're going to go one-on-one, you can't have it be him. He doesn't get his head turned around. He's constantly getting flagged for pass interference. He got burnt on that 4th and 1. I know that they were expecting the run, but completely was just left him wide open. It was just a bad call. It was a bad game plan from the beginning, and I'm glad that they made adjustments in the second half to kind of help with that, because they did much better in the second half. But yeah, that was really frustrating. And then going to the offensive side of the ball, like you said, Crosby and Jones both just ate all day, at least in the first half. You know, we were definitely missing Trey Smith. You could feel that. Wiley was getting beat. Orlando Brown was getting beat. So yeah, the first half, it was a tale of two halves. They definitely, the Chris Jones play, I don't want to say turned it around completely for him, because I think it was that in combination with that field goal going into the half to put us at 10 points. But
that was a that was a big field goal.
It was huge. It was huge. And, you know, a little concerned because he missed one earlier. So that was concerning. But I think, you know, they came out of the second half with a different attitude, and they were definitely ready to rock. So Boogie, you go.
I thought that was interesting what y'all said about Spags. My biggest takeaway on defense wasn't Spags. It was the missed tackles, man. Like, this was the most missed tackles I've seen the Chiefs have this year. 1. 2, me and Chuck, we just was on the last episode. We was talking about how the Chiefs all year have been good stopping the run. It was like Josh Jacobs. Yeah, you sure right, RJ. Josh Jacobs was just so fucking aggressive and physical every time he got the ball. He was trying to run to you. He wasn't trying to run away from you. He was trying to get contact. Like, Josh Jacobs had a hell of a game. So I thought we couldn't really stop him, and that kind of kept them in the game. If Josh Jacobs wouldn't have had that type of half, I don't think the game would have been that close. If we would have made Carr have to beat us, he would have had a turnover. And I kept thinking it was going to happen, but they kept relying on Jacobs. So when we made that adjustment, I think that helped our defense the most. On offense, I got to apologize. I was wrong about something. So far, MVS, I think, as of right now, is the best receiver on the Chiefs. So far, he done been the most consistent. He has had drops, but I mean, who else has been as consistent all year long so far but him?
Outside of Travis Kelce, yeah.
Yeah.
You can't even put it. No, for sure. You're right. It's definitely been MVS. He's consistent, and he consistently drops one pass a game. Yep. So he's good for the one, but outside of that, I mean, I think he had like 90 yards last night. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, yeah.
I feel like Pat is starting to trust him a little bit more just on some of them catches and them routes that he was getting. He had that deep catch last week, but when we got Valdez, the whole thing was, he's going to be our deep threat. No, they haven't even really used him like that. They've been using him like he's going to be the traditional number one receiver, and he so far so good. So that was one of my biggest takeaways. Of course, you said the offensive line. Orlando Brown, respectfully, I don't know if you hurt. I don't know, man, but I'm starting to get a little worried about Orlando Brown. Like, it's been like every week we having the same conversation. What you say, Chuck?
I mean, this been an MO with Orlando Brown. Every time he goes against a speed rusher, he has difficulty, man. And you saw, like, after halftime, Andy Reid, this is what makes Andy Reid one of the best coaches in the league. Like, he saw that, and he adjusted. And you saw that they had Travis Kelce over on that left side chipping him. And just like they had Jared McKinnon playing more snaps in the second half and chipping on the right side to help
He had a hell of a good blitz pickup too, man. McKinnon with that blitz pickup and that one run he had. Well, I looked down real fast because I thought he was tackled. Then I hear the crowd and shit. I'm like, oh shit, he's still running. McKinnon had a hell of a game too, man.
Yeah, these two runs before halftime, it sparked the momentum switch. Yeah, because we definitely needed that. Let's just get to the main topic of the first half, man. I want to talk about that roughing the passer penalty. Let's get to that real quick. It's getting ridiculous in the National Football League now. We done seen it in the past 2 weeks now. We saw it on Sunday with Grady Jarrett and Tom Brady. They called roughing the passer to basically decide the game right then and there, and which was just a normal sack to me, like a normal hit. And then the week before, Buffalo and Baltimore, they called a weak roughing the passer penalty in favor of Josh Allen, and that was a normal hit on him. Like Josh was just yelling at the ref, like "Yo," and then it's through the flag. Like it's getting ridiculous, man. Like I agree with that Kevin Hart clip on Get Up when he made his appearance on Get Up, man. It makes it seem like you got to put a pillow underneath the quarterback before I lay him down, man.
It's funny that I seen that before this game, and I was like, "Yeah, you so fucking right." Because
it's crazy.
What the fuck do you gotta? And I like how Chris Jones after the game, how he commented on that.
So goes.
Yeah.
To make sure he don't get fined, but get his point across. But I agree with everything he said. If we're gonna do it like this, that shit got to be reviewable, man. You can't let somebody lose a game because of that. If we would have lost because of that fucking call, and that wouldn't have been a reason we lost. But if we would have lost and that call happened, come on, man.
Yeah, and I'm just like this, man. The whole review thing, the only pushback I have on that is this: we was clamoring for pass interference calls to get reviewed, right? And they only overturned like 2 of them the entire season, just because the refs were had their egos and they was upset over the fact that people was angry about that Rams and Saints outcome in the NFC Championship game a few years ago. And then after that, they just scrapped the review from the pass interference because, the refs, they wasn't really going to overturn those pass interference calls no matter what happened. So that's my only little pushback on that. It's like, okay, if we're going to review roughing the passer, are they actually going to overturn some of them calls?
Yeah, that's fair. But, just because they might not do what they're supposed to do don't mean we should make a change. Some type of change got to be made, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can't imagine how frustrating that must be for a player because as a fan, the frustration, I was feeling during that. I think they have to look at it too from a different side. Like fans, it's going to be a lot easier to lose some fans that way. If you're not allowing them to do what they're supposed to be doing and sacking the QB and you're going to start overturning calls, like that was a pivotal play. And it was one of the best defensive plays Chris Jones has ever had. And so take it away from him like that. It was an obnoxious, awful, terrible call. And I'm glad it got him riled up. And I do think Chris Jones handled it very, very well in the interview. Like you said, Boogie, he tiptoed around what he wanted to say, but he also got his point across. And I think that's really great. They got to figure something out. They can't keep happening like this. That was 3 times in the last 2 weeks.
I'm with that too. Got you. I'm with that
say?
too. If you not go make changes, the referees got to be held accountable for that. Like, come on, man.
Man, the thing is, they never get held accountable.
They don't, but we gotta some change gotta happen at some point, man. You can't. That's just unacceptable.
Yeah.
The same weekend too.
Oh yeah.
Come on, man. Like,
yeah, back-to-back weeks, basically deciding football games. Thankfully, this one right here didn't really decide the football game because we ended up coming back and winning the game. But it could have, like you said. Book. But just the end of half, getting that 59-yard field goal by Matt Wright, even though Matt Wright kind of had a shaky night, that 59-yarder was huge though right before the half. Even though during the game I said F that field goal because I was still mad about the penalty or whatever, but it definitely helped.
Man, can we please have Butker back? Is it time yet? I don't know. I know he's got a high ankle sprain, but how much more time does he need? Is he coming back for Buffalo?
Do he just need an ankle? I got an ankle. Do he want
right? Half of Chiefs Kingdom is ready to give you their foot. Yeah.
Well, he proved his value.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy because more and more Chiefs fans starting to realize that we do need that, man. People are so caught into his some of his beliefs and stuff, but I'm like, damn, that he's still one of the best kickers in the league, man. So we need him. So
Chuck, and I don't want to fast forward too much,
right.
But while we talking about the kicker, that's what made it even crazier to me that the Raiders went for it for 2, knowing that the Chiefs was gonna have to drive and make that kicker take a field goal. Why would you go for 2?
Yeah, we definitely gonna get into that, man.
Yes, I'm just throwing that out there. We'll go back to that.
Yeah, we definitely gonna get into that later on in a few minutes. Because coaching is starting to be a lost art in the league. But like I said, we're gonna get into that. Like after halftime, man, I did mention one of the adjustments the Chiefs made as far as being able to protect Patrick Mahomes, because here's what the Raiders did very well in the first half. Like when it was third down, when it was passing situations, what the Raiders did, they had them DNs, actually the entire defensive line lined up in a 9-wide set, and they was lined up in like a 3 technique. So they was able to push the pocket up to where it made Patrick Mahomes uncomfortable in the pocket, and it caused some of those throws that was kind of short armed and whatnot, and it helped get them some stops. You know what I mean? But on top of that, man, I don't like how we ran the ball for the most part. Like we was in the gun a little too much, and I mentioned this before, man. Like on Twitter, like right after we beat the Bucks, I said, "Is Andy still gonna be committed to running the ball?" And I was like, "Don't hold your breath on that." And like last night, you saw like when we didn't run the ball, it was in the gun, man. And I keep saying like that's most of our terrible runs, man. It's like when we try to run from the gun, they're not. It's not effective.
Well, I will defend Reed on this one, y'all. We started out, we was down early, 1. 2, the O-line was getting killed in the first half. So it was kind of hard to get the run game going. And the same problem that look, I don't want the country down here, so I can keep saying it. We don't got no run game like that anyway. We don't got no running back. I was talking to a Buffalo fan, and he said, he was talking about Mahomes always throws touchdowns in the red zone. He thinks that they doing that to like boost his stats up. I'm like, no, we really just can't run. It's short yardage. That's just a weakness for us. So you got to get creative and do trick plays in the end zone and do all that when you don't have a consistent run game. So for this game, I kind of understood the first half of us not running the ball. Like you said, second half, it felt like the game got closer. We was able to get more balance. Then you can run a little bit, but I think that's going to be a problem. That's just is what it is for me, Chuck.
Yeah, but this might
Come on, Kevin. Hold on, Kevin. Don't do that.
I know.
Kevin, don't do that.
You know,
he was gonna let you slide that in too, Kevin. I'm not.
You know Kevin be trolling, dog. You know Kevin be trolling.
Playing, man.
But to RJ's point, yeah, I think we are definitely 7 Pacheco because shout out to my guy Sam, who's helped us with some graphics for this podcast. He asked me last night, like, were they 7 Pacheco for this week's matchup against Buffalo? And I was like, I think they are, because like I mentioned, like with the adjustment, they had no choice but to play McKinnon more snaps than all the other running backs, just because Wiley or Orlando Brown was getting their butt whooped so bad in the first half. He had to stay out there a little longer to help pass protect, chip, get out there, try to catch passes out the backfield and whatnot. So, yeah, I think Pacheco will probably be a little more involved for the Buffalo game, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that was game plan specific because it's not based off what he did against the Bucks. Because shit, he was playing with fire against the Bucks. Every play, I'm talking about 2-yard gain. He getting up height. So I don't think it was that. I think what you were saying, yeah, they saving him for that Buffalo. I'm not worried about Pacheco. He looked cool last time we seen him with the Bucks. I'm cool. But what RJ just said, can you put that comment back on there, please?
Yeah, he said Clyde had a bad game again. Again, he just had a good game against Tampa. What you mean?
RJ, you missed a little while on Kingdom Cast. We done lowered the expectations so much for Clyde now. That shit. Look, I got a co-host. I ain't gonna say no names. He might not be here today. But shit, 60 yards is a good game for Clyde now, because this gonna make him average 1,200 at the end of the year. So if we're just looking at the press box, yeah, but come on, man. If the Chiefs don't get a new running back after this year, I don't know what to tell y'all, man.
Yeah, but as the game went along, you want to know what's odd about the Raiders' game plan on defense? Like in between the 20s, they made sure Travis Kelce didn't catch a single pass. Basically, like he was double covered on basically every play for the most part. Like they made sure they had 2 men on him, whether it was a linebacker on him and a safety up top, or they had like a corner and the safety lined up on the same side where Travis Kelce lined up. But when we got in the red zone, he basically got one-on-one matchups. he basically got to do whatever the heck he want. So even though Travis had a good game on the stat sheet, I ain't never seen nothing like it. Like you scored 4 touchdowns, you only got 25 yards. I mean, that's funny. That's pretty funny.
That shit was weird. he probably fucking made somebody lose on fantasy, and I know they was pissed when he got 20 yards. Fuck, he got 30 points.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't. I don't blame him like for the first 2 touchdowns because Andy's known to have a lot of trick plays down at the end zone. So I could see them being like, we don't know what's going to happen here. It might not be Kelsey. But then you get to touchdown 3 and 4, and you're just like, okay, he's open again. Okay, he's open again. I mean, as a Chiefs fan, I'll take it, obviously.
Yeah.
Hold on. No,
go back. Yeah, thank you.
We're not let Caleb. Don't do that. So now we
up.
talking about a first round running back was never
right.
supposed to be that guy. What?
I was about to say that.
Caleb, don't do that. Look, I was on the bandwagon when they were talking about Mahomes. Texas said, "Get him." Oh shit, he gonna be a franchise running back. We all were saying that. Don't say now that 60 yards is acceptable. Come on, man. But we will give him credit. Clyde has caught the ball. We begged for that all season and last year. I will say he definitely has got better receiving. Definitely.
He's also not fumbling as much. I think his hands have improved.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, for sure. And here's the thing, man. Like with Clyde, we also fell into the whole Andy Reid saying that he could be another Brian Westbrook on this offense. We kind of fell for that trap.
Sold. He sold me. He said Brian Westbrook. I damn near got the jersey, bro. Brian Westbrook. Oh shit. We're about to repeat with a run game.
But hold on, Caleb. Maurice Jones-Drew, he was pretty short. I think he was 5'8", and he looked like a franchise back for a sec.
And Caleb, you got to think, Clyde was the best receiving running back coming out the draft. Coming with Andy Reid that don't want to run the ball. He only throw the ball, and he throw it to the running backs a lot. I'm like, shit, this shit perfect. He going to be a 70, 80 catch running back, close to get about 1,000 yards rushing. I'm cool.
Yep.
Expectations have been lowered.
Yep, they have. But here's another topic I want to get on before we get to, the main topic at hand. As you can see on the screen, is coaching in the NFL become a lost art? Because that fourth quarter, it was some questionable decisions on both sides, man. Like, I didn't get the whole. Okay, like we went up 7 points, right? We decided to go for 2.
What?
Like
that was perfect play call, Chuck.
What to go for 2 after being up 7?
Yeah, we was up 1, then we scored, right?
Yeah, when we scored, we went up 7.
I know, but if we would have got the 2, that's a 2-possession game.
Yeah, but I don't like that because the Raiders, like, you get the extra point there, right? The Raiders, they still got to score a touchdown and get a 2-point conversion.
How are you going to take an extra point when again, I just don't feel like we could have relied on. Who is the kicker right now we have?
I
What's
get
his
it.
name?
Right.
I get it. Matthew Wright. I get it. I get that he was struggling, but I didn't like that call in that situation. Not in the fourth quarter.
I loved that call. I didn't like the play call. I loved that they went for it. But I mean, you go up. What was the time on that? Like 6 minutes, maybe. About 6 minutes left.
Yeah, 6 minutes will change.
You go up 2 possessions. Raiders was gonna have to score, get an onside, and score again. We good. Game would have been over if we would have got that 2.
Of course it's not, RJ. Of course it's not.
No, hell no. That was a horrible call.
Terrible.
Go ahead, Kylie. If you want, what you think about it?
About the Raiders going for 2?
No. About us going for it on 2. Did you like that?
Yeah, I liked it. But again, I just don't think we could have relied on our kicker to get us that extra point there. So might as well go for 2. Like, that was, to me, I think that's where his head was in that play call. Like, we're going to go for 2. I'm going to put the ball back in Pat's hands, not in the kicker's hands or his feet. Anyway.
I'm with you on that, Kylie, because before and even after that, what's the name? I was like, I'm in 4-down territory going forward. That's what I would do.
And what was the play call down there? Remind me. Because you said you liked the call to go for 2, but you didn't like the play call. What'd they do?
Pat rolled out to the right, and it was
Yeah.
an incomplete.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't like that.
Yeah, it was too predictable right then and there. And here's my thing: like somebody mentioned that the kicker the kicker made a 59-yard field goal. Now, granted, yes, he missed some 200 field goals, but like if he make a 59-yard field goal, you can't trust him to make an extra point.
No,
he was like what 50% yesterday.
Yeah, I'm not.
Like
he almost missed the extra point too.
He did. He doinked it in. Yeah.
No, Chuck.
I get it. And I also think that to your if that was the play call, I couldn't remember what it was, but Andy has so many end zone plays. Like why that? We could have gone for 2 and not been successful. So that was frustrating.
He also missed a 41 and 30. Yeah, that's no.
I mean, I guess.
agree with RJ on that.
I guess, man. But back to the Raiders going for 2. Like, what the hell is that, dude? Like, what are you doing? Like, you tied the game up in that situation. Like, the game could maybe go into overtime. Now, granted, they got lucky to get the ball back to even have a chance to win the game. But in that situation, like you going for 2 down 1 point, like there's still time left in the game, man. Like I can understand if it was like barely any time left on the clock and you going for the win right there and there. If it was like 10 seconds left on the clock and you go for 2 and you try to go for the win just because you play on the road, yeah, I would get it then. But in that situation with what was it, like 4 minutes some change left at that point, I don't get Josh McDaniels. I really don't understand what he was thinking in that situation.
No, I completely agree. I thought the Raiders going for 2 was a really bad call. The only thing I can think is that they thought that there was enough time left. If they go for 2, then they're only up 1, right? So then they put us in good field position. We get the ball back. We have Patrick Mahomes. We can go down and score quickly, and then they got to score again. That'd be my only thing. Whereas if they go for 2, they miss it, then they give us that field position. They could possibly get us again. I don't know. It was a bad call. I was trying to reason why he would do that.
But like I was saying earlier, Kylie, like how we agree with the kicker, if I'm going into this, I'm the Raiders. Okay, it's 4 minutes left. We tie the game up. Either the Chiefs is going to score or whatever they go do, we still would have time to do whatever we go do. The Chiefs, in my mind, if I'm the Raiders defense, got to score a touchdown because I don't think they're going to trust their kicker to take a long field goal.
True.
I want them to try to beat me with a game-winning field goal. I'm cool if I'm the Raiders. We're going to overtime. To go for it,
True.
Even if the Chiefs would have kicked the field, you would have lost. Like, why would you? That just was bad coaching. That was bad coaching.
It's you got one of the best kickers in the league and you going for 2. It's crazy.
That's just don't make sense, bro.
Like my boy, I talked to my boy Sosa last night.
That's the Ravens fan, right?
Nah, he a Niners fan.
Okay.
But I talked to him last night when I was in the space, and he mentioned it on one of the shows this morning on Daily Bird Media. Shout out to them. He said that analytics has ruined professional sports, man. Like analytics is supposed to help you as far as making certain decisions, not be the end all be all. You know what I mean? I feel like these coaches are biting the analytics a little too much as far as them making decisions in situational football.
Charles Barkley told us that years ago, Chuck.
You said who told you that?
Charles Barkley.
Yeah. He was right.
Yeah, I think that too. I thought that was yeah.
Hey, I want to say that card touchdown to Davante, that motherfucker was not.
That was another case of them giving Davante inside leverage again. When they had cut the one, like on that huge play, you clearly see Jalen Watson line up on the outside of Davante. I'm like, bro, get inside. And it's like, are the coaches teaching them that? Like, are they being taught that or?
He a rookie too, though, man.
I mean, I get it, but you saw him do it earlier in the game.
But we got to give. I haven't watched the replay on that. We got to give Davante credit. He is like one of the top 5 best route runners. Period. So like I said, I didn't see the replay of it. No telling what he did to maybe he maneuvered to get him inside, like the inside leverage. But I mean, you gotta. It's only bad when it don't work.
Man, all right, country. Like, I'm not giving these coaches leeway, man. Like, it wasn't this bad back then, man. When we was kids watching the NFL, it wasn't this bad as far as coaching decisions, situational football.
Hell no, not like this.
It's got horrible, man.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
It's definitely the PFF era and all that. That shit definitely is. Yeah. Harbaugh. Well, see, I think everything is case by case. Me and Chuck disagree on that. I agree with Harbaugh going for it against Buffalo. He didn't trust he didn't trust the Ravens defense. Fine. They still had a chance to win the game. That didn't cost them the game. Staley sometimes, in Harbaugh's right now too, they kind of go for it too much. It's like the Madden. Like, if I'm playing Madden, this is what I'm going to do. This is not Madden, though. You can't go for it every fourth down. You just can't. That shit, it's not going to work. Even with the analytics, you got to trust it's a team game. You got to trust your defense. You got to do that.
And speaking of Brandon Staley, like, he got away with going for it late in the game. Like, he really should have lost against Cleveland.
You see, Keenan Allen was like, what the fuck? What was we doing?
Because he was doing a great job of knowing when to take risks and knowing not when to take risks. In that situation, he took a risk, and I don't think that was even past midfield yet. And he went for it. I'm like, bro, like, they got no timeouts left. You punt the ball in that situation.
Yeah, that was.
I missed all this. I didn't get to watch. I was traveling. This happened, and that's how they won.
Yeah, Keenan Allen was tweeting about it. Like, what the fuck is we doing? Like, game, I'm happy we made it. Like, yeah. Even Keenan Allen, who's hurt, is like, what?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But the Chargers got away with it. So
can we go back to the DBs real quick? Because I think RJ or someone put something up about Fenton, and I just really quick want to get back into it. So like you were saying, with Watson, he is young. He's a rookie. Like, he's going to make those mistakes. But Fenton should know better. Like, he's not getting his head around. Do we think Fenton will play less when we get McDuffie back? Or you think they're going to sit Watson?
I think Watson still earned his playing time, man. But Fenton is a real concern right now. Like, he hasn't been living up to how he's been playing in the past few years here in Kansas City. But here's another thing I want to touch on with the DBs. I've seen our DBs not turn their head around in time. Like, I've seen a lot of our DBs still had their head turned away from the ball. They're not looking back at the ball, man. Like,
Chuck, I feel like yesterday a little bit more than any other time, though. I feel like yesterday I kept saying that, like, damn, why? And one thing for you, Kylie, and Chuck, because we was just talking about analytics. You know, Fenton was like one of the number one corners on PFF last year.
Yeah,
he was.
So
if we analytical guys, I know y'all watch the games every Sunday. Respectfully, I never thought Fenton was a top 10 corner last year.
Right.
And also the penalties, like the pass interference calls, he was doing that all last season. He literally just hugs the receiver. He doesn't even try to hide it. It's just, yeah. And then he thinks it's funny. Like, I don't think it's funny.
Yeah, I don't think it's funny either, man. But I see a couple of people talking about Josh Williams in the comments. So yeah, let's get to the final drive here with the faders, man. So yeah, it definitely took. But here's the thing: like, the only reason Josh Williams got in the game is that I heard Fenton got hurt late in the fourth quarter, and that's why Josh got that opportunity in the first place. But
I did see him limping off. Yep.
But he definitely held his own, man. But before that, man, we were very fortunate that Davante dropped that pass that could have been like an easy first down. Like, when he drug his left foot, he didn't have possession all the way. And thank God the refs overturned that call, because I wasn't sure they was gonna overturn that in that situation. But here's my thing. On that 4th and 1, you know, Davante Adams and Hunter Renfrow, they collided, which messed up the entire play. But my thing is this. We mentioned earlier in the show how Josh Jacobs was running all over us the entire night. You could have gave him the ball, and if y'all got a first down, you still had time to clock it. Even though you had no timeouts left, like by the time you would have clocked it, you would have had like just under 20 seconds left, and could have got a few more plays in to try to get closer for a field goal. Like that's another coaching blunder off Josh McDaniels that night.
Horrible coaching. That shit. That's like the slap in the face of Josh Jacobs for all the work he put in that whole game. How violent he ran that whole game. You mean to tell me 4th and 1, you don't even give him a chance? Like, damn, man. I'm happy he did it. Because I don't think he would have stopped Josh Jacobs. I really don't.
No, I don't think so either. And I think going back to that where they overturned that call, I think, honestly, they were afraid of the Arrowhead crowd. I don't know. You guys, things were rowdy.
Hey, you heard his voice when he what was that penalty after that Chris Jones when he did it, his voice was gone?
Yeah, he was shaking in his boots, shaking in his stripes.
Yeah, right. Man, our fans were something else last night, man. They got louder and louder after that too, man. Like, after we went through all the boos and stuff, they got louder and louder when the defense was on the field, man. And it was crazy how they shook up Carl Shepherds like that. So
I loved it because he deserved it. Yeah. True.
Yeah, but yeah, man. Shout out to the defense. They got stopped when they need to, man. Frank Clark. Unfortunately, I think he really may have Crohn's disease, or or he's having a colitis, like kind of what I have right now, man. Because they said they say he was out with the illness or whatever. So I assume that them guts probably did start acting up again. I'm gonna assume that. But in that first half, though, Frank Clark was balling though. He was beating his guy on the edge. So
I thought you was about to say he's beating his meat. I was about to say Paul.
No,
time
out.
Hold on.
Oh man.
I didn't know where you was going with that, man. But yeah, Frank Clark, hey, that was probably the best half of Frank Clark we done seen in a while. Like, he was active.
Yeah.
Like not just on the sack plays. Like I'm like, damn, okay, this Frank Clark again. I see him.
Yeah. And he shared one with Karlaftis, and I want George to get home so bad,
Yeah.
But I mean, not to start, and he was there too. But yeah, Frank had a great first half.
Yeah, and then but with that being said, even though he went out for the rest of the game, good thing that we addressed Def in the offseason, just in case stuff like that happens. You saw Carlos Dunlap getting there in the second half. And he was pretty productive on his end. So,
hey, and shout out to Slim. I ain't seen him in the comments in a while, but I don't want to hear that Chris Jones shit y'all was talking about in the summer. Y'all need to delete all them old tweets talking about get rid of Chris Jones and all that. Fuck that. Chris Jones need to retire, Chief. Chris Jones did everything he was supposed to do. He's been the guy y'all was talking about he need to be. He's been that since week 1 this year, man. I know he got to do it in the playoffs. He still got to do it in the playoffs. But Chris Jones is by far, man. He turning up, man.
Hold on, RJ. Like, George been playing well, man. Like, he just now getting into the stat sheet with the sack, but that dude's actually been playing well so far, man. Like, I don't know what you seeing.
Analytics said he don't got a sack, so what that mean?
I guess he still got dust.
He's getting pressure. He's getting pressure.
He's better against the run than I thought, Kyle.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you know how PFF got adjusted score? So I guess they got something for adjusted sacks with George Karlaftis.
But
man, I want to give. Sorry, Chuck. You need time.
No, go ahead.
I just want to say, okay, so coming into the season, we did our 53-man. I didn't even put Darius Harris on there, I don't think. And he came out, and like with Gay out the last 2 games, I want to say he's led the team in tackles. He was the only one really tackling last night. He played very well consistently throughout the game. I want to give props to him. Go Boogie.
Question.
No, don't do it.
Somebody say it. Somebody tweeted me this earlier. What do y'all think? third downs, they said, we don't need Bolton out there. We need Harrison. We need Willie Gay out there. What do y'all say to that?
What's Nick Bolton done wrong on third downs?
Right.
I'm just saying what the streets are saying.
No, one person.
I think Bolton is fine.
I think Bolton is absolutely fine. I would not take out Bolton for Darius Harris. I would say that Bolton and Harris make a good combination. So if you want to go to 2 linebacker set, then wouldn't you take out Gay?
Would you?
I would. If you want to take out someone, I feel like I'm not saying I want to take out Gay. I'd rather it be Gay and Bolton, and I want to give respect to Harris. But if you're going to play that scenario and you want to play it through, I would play Bolton over Gay. They've played well together the last 2 weeks. And Bolton's led the team in tackles. He's around every play. He's a leader. Not to say that Gay isn't. I think they're both incredible, and we need them both out there. But if you're going to be let's choose one, I'm going to go with Bolton.
Okay.
Yeah. So Country mentioned that about Turk. You know, Turk unfortunately towards ACL, out for the season and all that. Do you call Denny Shelton from the practice squad, or do you try to acquire somebody? Because I saw RJ mention the Dominican Sue. Now that's somebody I mentioned immediately after the game last night. I said, all right, somebody getting the Dominican Sue on line one, because I know it's around that time where he may want to sign with somebody. So, I mean, what y'all thinking about in regards to Turk?
Boogie, you can go ahead.
We're going to miss Turk. I think he was perfect for what he was doing, getting better. I thought he was going to be pretty cool this year, so we're going to miss him. I would say, just based on this last game, looked like we need to play Shelton more because we couldn't stop the run yesterday. So, right now, I would say Shelton, but, I mean, I don't know about acquiring. Yeah, I'm never going to say no to Sue. But how realistic is Sue?
Yeah.
I don't know. Somebody asked, what's the deal with our cap situation? And I was like, we might be able to make it work, but I don't know. We'll just have to see, man. But I know one thing: the Dominican Sue helped Aaron Donald have the best season of his career individually. So there's that.
Chuck, one thing about you: the more and more I get to know you, and I realize the little slick shit you say. And it's crazy, man. It's crazy. He say little stuff like that, Kylie, about Sue, but in reality, he's really trying to throw Aaron Donald under the bus a little bit by saying he's not as great, because I've heard him say that before. This motherfucker's slick, Kylie.
It's an underhanded comment.
Yeah, he's slick, man.
But I'm saying, though, Aaron Donald is great, but he needs another stud.
But
next to him.
See? Uh-huh.
Look, Von Miller. Von Miller came over and helped him out last year. He helped him. I'm just saying.
Do we need to add this topic to the list of things we can't discuss?
Yeah.
Okay. I respectfully disagree.
Go that way now.
See, look, I look at the details more.
Look, me and Kylie look at the analytics.
Yeah, we're big on PFF.
But anyway, man, I think Country just mentioned it, so we probably don't have the funds for Sue anyway at the moment. We'll have to do something drastic. I know people in the comments talking about trading for Brian Burns from the Panthers. He's an edge, but that would require giving up some draft picks and all that. But I don't know, man.
I'm cool on that personally.
That's the point I'm saying, Caleb. That's the point I'm saying, bro.
Caleb, don't do that to me, man, please.
See, look, even Hefe agreed with me.
Oh, yeah, did he? Tell him, Joe.
I know I'm not crazy. But anyway.
If we get Sue, I'm not complaining. If we need some money, I said this in the offseason a little bit, but shit, re-sign Snead, man. Pay him. So far, based on what he's done, where we got him from, and what his help me out, Country.
Trajectory.
Thank you, Kylie.
I got you. Yeah.
I think we should pay Snead.
For sure.
With that extension. To me, I think he's the only young guy that's really I'm still not there on Juan yet. Like he's not bad, but I'm not sure I want to re-sign him during the season. I think Snead is like the only guy we really got.
Yeah, it looked like Juan didn't want none with Josh Jacobs last night, but
he had a lot of missed tackles.
Hey, shout out Justin Reed. I seen him post that clip because yeah. Jacobs was coming, man.
Somebody said Honey Badger would have got the way in this situation. And I'm like, come on, y'all.
Hey, we seen what he did this last weekend. He is a Chiefs Hall of Famer. But yeah. But Juan dropped that pick too, man.
He did, though. He should have had it.
I thought he had that.
He definitely should have had it.
Great pick.
Yeah, I sure thought Derek Carr was going to throw a pick in this game, but it is what it is, though. But now that we have pretty much broke down the game, man, let's get to the main topic at hand. Say that Patrick Mahomes, he threw 4 touchdowns, which passed Troy Aikman on the all-time list, passing touchdowns in NFL history. ESPN did not mention it. They didn't put the graphic up. They never talked about it or anything. So Troy Aikman, I don't know if you're going to watch this or not, but I'm saying hello to you right now, sir. Dude, like, you should be happy and content with your 3 Super Bowl rings, man. I don't know why you're bitter, salty, or jealous about Patrick Mahomes passing you up on the all-time list. As far as touchdown passes, are you still upset at the fact that he won the Super Bowl in that same year when you brought out the tweet saying that get back with me when he wins 33% your Super Bowls, right? Are you still kind of bitter about that? Are you still kind of bitter that you had to commentate during that Super Bowl and watch that happen in front of your face? Like, are you still bitter at the fact that you're not getting as much credit in comparison to Emmitt Smith and Jimmy Johnson as far as them Cowboys Super Bowl victories? Now, don't get me wrong. You managed the game well. You did your thing. You got the ball to Michael Irvin. You got the ball to Jay Novacek. But, I mean, all real football fans know that, yeah, Emmitt Smith was the driving force of that Cowboys team. And I don't know. You still might be a little bitter about that. I don't know, man. But at the end of the day, dude, you just need to go ahead and pay homage, man. You got your 3 Super Bowls. The game done passed you by a long time ago. Just pay homage, man. Don't be so bitter.
I really hope he sees this little lecture you've just given him. I love that so much. Yeah, facts, though. I completely agree. He should have given tribute. There should have been something because it's a big deal, and that was kind of pissed me off. But
that lets me know that he told the producers in the background, like, look, if Patrick Mahomes does this, don't show no graphic. We not gonna talk about it. Nothing. Don't you dare.
Stop it. You think that's what happened? You think that's what happened?
A part of it.
You think that's what went down in the background?
I wouldn't be surprised if somebody said probably not to say something about that. I wouldn't be surprised. But I mean, it probably wasn't even necessarily Troy mad at Mahomes. Man, you know how these fans is. The motherfuckers kept adding him and shit, and he like, man, you know what?
Not buying it.
They knew it.
Oh yeah, they definitely knew.
Mm-hmm. Light skinned Jay-Z.
Can we talk about Sky Moore? Is this beating a dead horse at this point? Can we please see more from Sky Moore?
But hold on, real quick, before we get to Sky Moore, real quick, man.
Yes.
I want to talk more about Patrick Mahomes because y'all remember that clip when him and Max Crosby was going back at it, man? He said, I'm here. That was LeVon. Mahomes. That wasn't no Patrick. We got that boy LeVon, dog.
Oh, man.
When we get LeVon to come out of Patrick, dog, you in trouble. That was a brother.
What Kevin Hart say on 40-Year-Old Virgin, Chuck? You want a nigga here now, man. I liked it. I liked it. I loved it.
Yeah. I love seeing Pat get fired up.
Game too, man.
Yep. Man, he's scary too. You see his face on not the Crosby, but Pat Mahomes when he's on the sidelines getting all riled up like that. I love seeing it, and I feel like it gets the other guys going. He obviously took it into the locker room. I love seeing it. Ice in his veins, like that's that kind of shit.
Mm-hmm. So shout out to LeVon, man. He balled out. So
yeah.
But yeah, we can get to Sky Moore. I agree with you, Kylie. I know when I cut you off, you said you want to see more. I definitely want to see more too. What's interesting is that he actually got touches in crunch time in the fourth quarter. Like when we was trying to close out the game, unfortunately the offense didn't close out the game, but I did see that he caught a couple screen passes and was moving the chains a little bit. So
I thought that was the positive, Kylie, that we seen him in crunch time. Even though he didn't really play the whole game, for Andy Reid to say, all right, we got to close this game out. 24, come in.
So they can trust him. They know they can trust him. They can count on him. So a lot of people, I hear people are saying, oh, well, we're saving him for the Bills. What do you think about that comment?
I'm gonna stick to what I said, and I think it's gonna be more towards after that bye week. I don't necessarily think it's Buffalo. I think it's kind of like you got a pit bull. You can smack him on the nose. He doing all that. Come here, get back. You gonna let him loose, but not right now. You let him loose after that bye week, he gonna have that whole bye week to get down and do all that. You throwing him in crunch time, so you trust him. So you gotta have that next man up mentality, and that right there, that's gonna help, man.
Yeah, for sure. And also, man, I seen comments about McCall the entire night, and I just want to say this: McCall, I was right, man. Like I knew he's gonna bounce back. He bounced back in a big way, and not only did he do it receiving, you remember on the third touchdown, I believe, of Travis Kelce, he held his own on that block when Kelce ran across the field, and that helped Kelce get in the end zone. And Travis Kelce mentioned that after the game. So McCall had a nice all around game, in my opinion.
And they use him as a decoy a lot too.
Yeah.
Like they using him to do this tricky stuff to get your eyes going, then they throwing to somebody else. He is what he is, man. We got another player. We didn't lower the expectations on him. We don't need him to be 1,000-yard receiver no more. That's done. It's the pass. We just need him to contribute in those little ways. But what's up with Juju? Go ahead, Kylie. What you say?
Oh, no, just on Hardman, are we concerned about his heel? Because it feels like every game he goes out limping, and we're like, well, there he is again. Like, he did great. He played great yesterday, but it is just concerning. I don't want to injure it more.
It is.
Yeah, it definitely somewhat concerning. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's just something we got to monitor moving forward. But like, if unfortunately somehow he does get hurt, I mean, I know the young Bulls guy can step up in his role and produce. But he's
or Watson.
Yeah,
probably him most likely. For real.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Another guy I would like to see more though from. I like Justin Watson.
I mean, but I don't know because like he's more of like that fifth receiver, that kind of that special teams type of guy. So I don't know. I mean, we'll just have to see about that. But Boogie, I know you mentioned something about Juju. Juju, they said he was playing through like a quad injury before the game even started. So, and I can just tell by the way he was running his routes that he wasn't all the way healthy, 100%. But he gutted it out, man. He made one huge play down the sideline in the red zone. They got the first down. So, it is what it is, man. I wasn't expecting much from Juju anyway, just because of the condition he was in.
So, the condition he's in, like he's hurt, is what you mean?
Yeah, like he's hurt, like he's playing through an injury.
All right, okay. Well, if that's the case, then okay, because that's what I'm like. It's still early. We only can go off what we see each week. He just don't look the same, man. Is it me? Am I tripping? Am I overreacting? Let me know something.
He definitely didn't look the same out there last night. He definitely didn't.
Like this year, for the most part, for me.
Well, I would say last night for sure. I don't know. I feel like we've had some good games from him. But again, it's one of those things. It's like if he's hurt, then why is he playing? Like we have other wide receivers. He didn't even. What did happen with him yesterday? What did he drop? Like 3 or 4 passes, or they weren't connecting. Like there were a lot of missed targets there. Then like why is he?
I was gonna say because he is probably one of our best run blockers, but I mean we already been through that. We didn't even run the ball, so it can't be for that. He just don't get separation from nobody no more, man. Like, and it could be coming off the major injuries. It could just be a new scheme. It could just be it's early. This is just something I've just been.
He's gonna have a good game against the Bills. I'll call it now.
Put it in. Lock it in.
Yeah,
let's do that.
in. Yeah.
Okay. So you expecting Judah to be healthier than what he was last night?
Oh shit! It's a short week. I guess I got to go with that. Now I just said it. I'm putting in me. Yeah, he's gonna have a game.
Buffalo secondary banged up too, though. So
true. Okay.
Well, we can't let Juju and McCole sit.
Right.
Somebody got to get it out. So I think Juju, he gonna play again. We just gotta see how healthy he is. But to me, man, like when he had his best game against the Colts, he looked fine to me, running routes and separating, getting open and stuff. I think he may really got hurt in that Tampa game, and because I could tell as that game went along, he did look a little hampered out there, and throughout the course of the week, it was kind of the same ordeal. I think he was limited in practice, and just trying to manage the quad injury. So that's the entire deal with that.
Hey, y'all know somebody else I want to give props to that has been impressed me. They've been getting better. Noah Gray has been getting better, man. I've been liking what I've been seeing these last couple of weeks from him, man.
Yep, which is why
I agree with that.
He's been getting on the field quite often. So
yeah.
Definitely shout out to him. There's another thing I want to touch on. As you guys saw after the game, Davante Adams, he pushed the cameraman in frustration, still mad about that last play or whatever. And I guess still mad about not having full possession of the ball on third down too. So, I know the NFL is reviewing whether to suspend him or not. The Raiders, they currently on a bye week right now. So, do you guys think anything's going to happen to Davante as far as him getting suspended? Or is it just going to be like a fine and that's it?
Well, no, I think he'll get suspended because didn't the guy file a police report?
Yeah, he did.
So there's got to be a suspension, at least one game. You can't have Willie Gay beat up a vacuum, and I'm not trying to get on that, but then this guy on camera push another guy, and then nothing happens. So we'll see.
I think he probably, I think he got to get one game. Just to, you can't let him push somebody on TV because he was mad and get away with it like that just because he apologized. That's just gonna send a bad message.
Right.
Only thing about that, I'm jealous as fuck. That wasn't me he pushed. Because dude got right up. I would have still been on Arrowhead right now if he would have pushed my little ass down. We would have been paid.
My neck, my back, my neck and my back.
Look, everything. Man. They would have carted me out of there. Yeah, that's gonna cost him some money though, man. He got it.
So here's what I want to know about Davante's apology, because he said it on Twitter and all that, but I want to know, did he actually try to go find a dude before he put that on social media?
No, I seen the video of him talking. I don't know about that.
Yeah. I saw the interview afterwards, but I'm like, dude, you say you hope you see this, but I feel like, did you even try to find a dude before saying all that?
Well, it's too late now.
Yeah.
It was too late really after he did it, because any average American, if an NFL player push you, come on, bro. You got to talk to my lawyer. I don't even got one yet. You got to talk to them, though. That's going to happen.
Yeah.
But what I did find interesting was that I know somebody who works behind the scenes at ESPN and stuff, and they was talking about the cameraman. I guess they said the cameraman wasn't paying attention to security meetings or whatnot. I don't know how that stuff goes behind the scenes or whatnot, but at the end of the day, man, Davante was in the wrong on that.
Yeah, you can't.
You
can't do it.
I know you pissed off and everything, but you can't take it out on somebody like that, bro.
No.
Hold on, Mike Evans got a game, but that was because he had history, though.
Him and Marshawn. Look, they got him and Marshawn Lattimore. They've been beefing ever since. They've been going up against each other in the league, man. That's just a normal thing for them.
But they only got one game for that. Davante might just get fined. Yeah. Ain't no consistency. There's no consistency.
True. It's true.
Well, yeah.
True.
Yeah, obviously.
It's true.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! That ain't enough, Kevin.
Raiders fans, I guess.
I think I'm starting to feel some other pain still thinking about it. Nah, that ain't enough, man.
I don't want that.
I'm starting to feel some other pain.
Look, it would have said Kingdom Cast on that motherfucking fucking Davante Adams shit.
Right.
Yeah, that ain't enough, bro.
Yeah. I don't know if the sign jersey thing is true or not, but I have to look into that. But bottom line is that Davante was in the wrong man situation, and that's just what it is. So, I mean, with that being said, we took care of the faders, man. I saw some Fader fans that disappointed me. Like, one in particular, man, shout out to my guy Reese, man. My guy Reese was so hurt. He was so hurt sitting that lower bowl, man, because he put up all these hype videos. And, when the Raiders went up 17-0, he was like, Raider effing Nation. We'll take that three. And then after the game, when he got home, he deleted all them hype videos, man. Act like he went at the game, bro. Like,
hey, shout out Markel, man. He usually watch the episodes. He probably ain't watching now, but he got his Chiefs jersey on now, y'all. So y'all go light on Markel. That's my boy. He's a former Raider fan. Don't judge him. Don't hold that against him. He's converting over. I got a picture of him in the Chiefs jersey now. So we're good now, man. Shout out Kells, man.
So that being said, man, I mean, anything else y'all want to touch on before we get up out of here?
Big week, y'all.
Yeah, Buffalo's coming
big week.
The two best quarterbacks in the league. We finally get to see again.
Yep.
Ooh, the suspense.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good. But we got a whole nother show for that.
Yeah.
You'll have to tune in next time.
Yes.
Yep. This Thursday. All right, y'all. So before we get up out of here, get a word from our sponsor here. Homage. They got something going on right now. They gave everybody free shipping on orders of $75 or more. So they got sports, they got pop culture, movies, you name it. So go hit up Homage, hit up homage.com. And pay homage while you copping some gear, while you copping your threads and whatnot. So there's that.
Shout out Homage.
Yeah. Really soft t-shirts.
Really soft, really comfortable, man. Really comfortable. So yeah, shout out to Levon for doing his thing. Shout out to Travis Kelce for doing his thing. And Travis Kelce, his 4-touchdown game was the first time that has happened since Marvin Jones in 2019. He had a 4-touchdown game. That's the last time that happened before Travis Kelce did it last.
He was with the Lions when he did that, wasn't
he? Yep.
Damn.
That's a trivia for you right there. All right, y'all. It's on the Buffalo, man. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share all your social media platforms. Until the next episode, we out of here. Welcome back, Kylie.
Yeah.